down. So now Mitch Trubisky is in. Trubisky lets it fly. Intercepted.
Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. Important PSA. I know every week I drill you to sign up for Patreon to support the show, but now it's more important than ever. YouTube has arbitrarily decided to remove all monetization on my channel. We already were giving our ad revenue to the NFL for the full show, and now we can't make anything off of ads on live streams or shorts either. So please remember, if you see a single commercial while watching this show, I am not making a penny off of it. If you like what we do and want there to be a future for 5-Star Matchup, we need you to donate $7 a month over on patreon.com/5SMU. Well, we're back in the Berg for another ugly game, this time matching our fourth quarter Kenny with former #1 overall pick Trevor Lawrence in what is perhaps one of the best QB hair matchups in NFL history. Can the upstart Steelers steal another one? I doubt it. First play of the game, Pickett's going deep down the middle to Deontay Johnson, who can't quite reel it in. Woof. These are the shots you just can't miss in the NFL. This is wide the fuck open, and Pickett needs to put this pass on him better here. I know the comments are gonna say DJ has to catch this, and maybe he should, but in these elements, is it too much to ask for your quarterback to place the ball in a more catchable spot? There's no one near him. Sorry, Deontay haters, this one's on the QB for me. He needs to be better. Outtrots Trevor Lawrence, who is, a really good quarterback, and he faces an early 3rd and 5, which looks incomplete at first glance, but upon further examination, and this would be a theme of the day, the ref throws a flag 40 minutes after the play for pass interference, and the drive stays alive. Love it. Nice stuff here by Montravius Adams. Steelers make so few of these in the run game these days, I gotta make sure I cover it when it happens, and on third, Pierre makes up for his PI with a nice tackle and draws a face mask knocking the Jags back, but they get back in field goal range anyway, and McManus boots it for the 3. Jags on the board first. Back to the Steelers offense, which really only exists in theory, and it's a toss to the Najman, which, never fucking worked. Much like the Steelers, YouTube buffers at an inconvenient time, and the drive is already over. 2 punts in 5 minutes. Great, love it. It's 2023 and the Steelers literally don't have an offense. Pressure gets to Lawrence on first here and he goes down, but so too does, of course, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it's literally been less than 6 minutes and I hate this game already. Can't lose guys like this, and if I had to guess, it looks like the Mink Man is gonna be out sometime. Woof. Lawrence scrambles to get a few on 2nd and 17, and on 30 fires a missile down the field to his man Calvin Ridley for a chunk of 26, and I hate to say it, but the Jags are already looking to put this one on ice if they can score here. Great batted pass by the GOAT TJ Watt here puts them behind the 8 ball, and they can't convert on 3rd, and again trots out McManus for a tray. And the Jags take a 6-0 lead that feels like 20-0. These graphics are becoming my favorite running joke in the NFL this season. Damn, the Steelers offense sucks. Nice little catch and run for Deontay, who is far and away the Steelers' best player on offense today, followed by another run for nothing. Even bad rushing teams can get more than a yard or two from time to time. And on 3rd and 2, Pickett underthrows the one he should have overthrown and misses Pickens for what might have been a catch and run touchdown, but at the very least would have been a field-flipping gainer. And man, oh man, is it becoming hard to defend Kenny Pickett's play. I'm rooting for this kid hard, but even I have to admit that the sample size of bad play is becoming too large to ignore. Blame Matt Canada if you want, but on 2 of these 3 drives, they had wide open guys for chunks and possible scores that the QB didn't hit. That's not on the OC. YouTube buffers some more. Who cares who wants to see this crap anyway? It's just another 3rd down conversion, this time into the business zone for Trevor and the boys in teal, who get a little too tricky for their own good, flipping this one to Ingram, who, whoops, gets popped by the Quanon only Mr. Alexander, and Cole Holcomb falls on it for the momentum flipping turnover. This team, man, how do you explain it? Steelers run one of the least effective reverses I've ever seen, and we head thankfully into the 2nd quarter already. Why is everything so hard? Steelers predictably do absolutely nothing with the turnover, and it's back to the Jags already. Now this is quarterback 1 type stuff from Trevor. Great throw hits Ridley, and again the Jags are already threatening to score. Blame the D if you want, but at some point the Steelers offense needs to carry some of the weight. Again, 9 first downs in the first quarter this season. You can't ask your defense to do this week in and week out. And yet somehow they do. Absolutely boneheaded decision by Lawrence here, who lofts a prayer in the end zone for no reason, and it's picked by the equally boneheaded KZ, who takes it out of the end zone also for no reason, and while the Steelers have possession, it's at the 2. Where were you going? Nice in rhythm throw to DJ gets him out of the hole, followed by another deep toss down the middle, this time for Austin, who draws the PI to get him out near midfield quicker than a Steelers first quarter possession. And are the Steelers about to pull ahead 7-6? Nice reverse again to the speedy Austin, who for whatever reason just doesn't feel like he accelerates as fast as he should. Gets a first, followed by a nice throw on the run. Maybe the entire offense should involve this for Pickett. He's literally better at it than throwing from the pocket. And the Steelers are suddenly moving and shaking. A pair more to 18 gets him in striking range, but this Canadian stinker sinks the ship, leading to a typical missed target in the end zone for Kenny Pickett, who again just needs to make this play. Forget the slip, forget the accuracy. This shit is late, and I wholeheartedly believe the only reason he was looking the other way was to try and move the safety. There's absolutely no chance he was going to the right here, and this play was for Deontay. He gets wide open out of his break, and Pickett either misses him or sees it late, and fires errantly for a sickening incompletion. I heard so many Steelers fans talk so much junk about that one pass Mason Rudolph threw in the dirt against the Lions, and you were right, but I think you should mention this one in the same breath. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I sometimes feel like I'm processing things from the broadcast angle in real time faster than second-year Kenny Pickett is on the field. Want to know why he's got 12 touchdowns in 20 career games? He's simply not quick enough or decisive enough in the red zone, where that window tightens even more. Steelers do get another stop, but McManus drills his third 3 of the day, and the Jags push their meager lead back to 6. 32nd in the league in time of possession, in case you were wondering. Kenny gets him moving with a throw first to Hayward, followed again by Deontay, and then a scramble by number 8 himself, who fumbles as he goes out of bounds, setting in motion the sequence of the day for the dwindling Steelers. Refs misspot the ball by a full yard on an obvious first down run, which leads to a 10-second runoff for the review on the already brief first half clock. And on the very next play, the Jags' 4-man rush gets home with minimal effort and absolutely crushes clutch Kenny. Should be a personal foul, but whatever. And he comes up hurt. Looked at first to be the shoulder, but turned out to be the ribs, and he would not return. Oh, and surprise, the Steelers play on a short week this week. Goody. In comes blockhead Mitch, who tries his best to throw a pick immediately, but it clangs harmlessly to the ground, setting up the boss for a 55-yarder. And as usual, he's... But wait, there's some bullshit-ass bullshit. The refs call an offensive offsides on the field goal try, something I've never heard of in my almost 30 years of watching ball. And the points come off the board for an absolutely arbitrary call, and Boz can't connect from 60, keeping the lead to a salty 6 as we head into the half. Just taking this moment to say thank you to all those who sent along their condolences and well wishes last week. It really did mean a lot to me and reinforced my favorite thing about this show, which is that we've built such an incredible community of people that I'm immensely proud of. You guys make this worth doing. Thank you. Now roll the game. Back to this turd sandwich of a game because I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess, and yet again the Jags are instantly in the Steelers' territory, but yet again they fumble the ball and it goes back to the Steelers. This game is beginning to remind me of the Patriots one last year. Not the structure per se, but the fact that it is just sitting there for the Steelers to take it, and they just have no answers as to how to do that. Running the ball continues to be a hope and pray situation, but then again, so does throwing it, and so does blocking, and the Steelers are right back off the field because they suck, and I'm tired of pretending they don't. Yes, I know this is the backup quarterback, but come on, man. Will Levis threw 4 touchdowns in his first start today. PJ Walker's winning games in this league. The corpse of Russell Wilson just beat Patrick Mahomes. You can't get a first down with your starter or backup? D continues to keep him in the game with a nice sack followed by a stop on 3rd and long. But does it even matter when you don't have an offense to put out there? Get this man off my screen. Finally, a nice run for Jalen grabs a few, but on the next play, we're instantly reminded who blockhead Mitch is, and on 3rd, it's an almost great grab by Georgie Porgy, who probably shouldn't have put a target on his back last week, and the Steelers' offense tragically trots off the field to go sit in the corner like a child in timeout. God, this sucks. I hate this game. Why am I doing this? What is this team giving me to highlight? We haven't had a win with 30+ points since 2020. Am I real? Is this show real? Do we exist? Trevor Lawrence again shows what a good quarterback can do as he drills one down the seam to the streaking ETN, who strolls into the once fiercely protected end zone of Acrisure, and the Jags lead grows to an insurmountable 14. Let me ask you a question. How many more possessions would the Steelers need to drop 20 points in this game? 10? 15? 20? Steelers shockingly get moving with the pass game, eventually culminating in this great George Pickens catch and run touchdown, but you and I both know that's probably too little too late, don't you think? Jags nickel and dime him down the field again, but the drive ultimately culminates in a meeting of the minds at the quarterback between TJ Watt and Armon Watts, and the Jags happily punt it back to the Steelers' tragic comedy of an offense.
And that sets up our 5-star
play of the game.
After the timeout, 2nd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Shotgun Trubisky. Trubisky lets it fly. Intercepted.
Still with 9 minutes to go and down just a score, the Steelers' tragic comedy of an offense led by the terrible Trubisky turns the ball right back over to the Jaguars on a play that just didn't need to happen. I get what Trubisky said after the game, that he was trying to make something happen, but there was so much time left and this is a 2nd and 3. Did it need to be a toss 40 yards down the field into triple coverage? There was a 0.0% chance that this pass gets completed, and it's exactly why Mitchell Trubisky is not a starting quarterback in this league. Just an awful throw that makes no sense and ultimately puts this game on ice. I'm not gonna go play for play here. All you need to know is the Jags win 20-10 and your Pittsburgh Steelers fall to 4-3. You know, for me, this sort of game is in a lot of ways more painful to watch than getting blown out by the 49ers or Texans. While those games also suck to watch, they weren't served up on a silver platter for the Steelers to win. Pittsburgh, for most of this game, had a +3 turnover ratio with 3 points on the board. And the craziest part is that the 3 points came on the drive that KZ started on the 2. Folks, it's just not good enough. The Steelers are never beating a quarterback that matters with this offense. Complain about the refs, offensive coordinator, backup quarterback all you want, but the reality is this offense is mired in muck. And until it gets better, the Steelers have no hope of truly mattering in the modern NFL. Again, they have 9 first downs in the first quarter this season. 9! The Ravens have 48. The Jets have 14. We have reached almost never before seen levels of offensive ineptitude, and we're running out of excuses as to why. Blame Matt Canada if you want, but Pickett missed both Deontay and George on deep passes that should have been completed in the first quarter, and missed DJ on what should have been an easy touchdown on their lone long drive of the day. At some point, we need to begin pointing the finger at the common denominator here, which is Kenny Pickett. Yes, what he does in the fourth quarter is impressive, but this isn't baseball, and he's not Mariano Rivera. Your quarterback needs to make things easier for the team, not harder. The sad, cold reality that we all must face as Steelers fans is that in 20 games in the NFL, Kenny Pickett has thrown 12 touchdown passes. That wouldn't have been a good start to a career in the 80s. The sample size continues to grow, and he's 25 years old. Say what you want about Matt Canada, but I also need you to acknowledge that in 2021, with the rapidly physically declining Ben Roethlisberger at the helm, we all thought the Steelers' offense was terrible. But they were 21st in the league in scoring, and Ben threw for 3,700 yards and 22 touchdowns. Currently, Kenny, if he were to play every game, which he probably won't, is on pace for 3,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Even with all your caveats about the OC and the O-line and the quarterback's youth, I'm begging you to ask yourself, is that even close to good enough? See you Thursday. Here we go. And if you're still here, you know the drill. Sign up for Patreon to support the show. There's a link down below. YouTube is making it nearly impossible for us to run a business, and we're just trying to keep the lights on and keep the content rolling for you. If you've been on the fence, I can't encourage you enough right now. If you want there to be a future for 5-star matchup, I need you to hop over to patreon.com/5SMU and become a member today.